Since 1954, Heifer Philippines tackled hunger and poverty in the rural areas by providing livestock, training, and other resources to small-scale farmers. Anchored in Heifer's cornerstone for just and sustainable development and values-based holistic community development approach, it emphasizes ecological awareness and collaborative efforts in integrating environmental and livelihood concerns in its projects and activities. World Risk Report of 2013 lists the Philippines as the third country most vulnerable to disasters. This means that an effort to end hunger and poverty in the communities where Heifer International works will be put to waste by a single hazard event while leaving the families back to where they were before the project started. Because of the country's vulnerability to risks and hazards, Heifer Philippines has integrated disaster risk reduction and management component in its projects. Anchored on Heifer's core frameworks of values-based holistic community development and pro-poor wealth creating value chain, and various issuances on disaster risk reduction and management, Heifer Philippines DRRM framework emphasizes the need to build resiliency among families and communities. At Heifer Philippines, we believe that families and communities are resilient. If families and communities can absorb shocks brought about by disasters, survive and bounce back from disaster situations, and adjust and adapt to hazards brought about by the changing environment, reducing risk by preparing, planning ahead, and increasing capacities are vital to developing and increasing resiliency among families and communities. This aim is anchored on Heifer's values-based holistic community development approach, pro-poor wealth creating value chain, and internationally accepted issuances and local laws on disaster risk reduction and management. VBHCD shapes the designing of DRRM projects into a strengths and values-based, enabling the participants to regard their potentials as instruments of development and a means to promote action to improve the community. Pro-Poor Wealth Creating Value Chain provides a conceptual guide in safeguarding economic empowerment of project participants by ensuring that wealth is inclusive and that multiple forms contributing to economic development are in place for those who are marginalized. Last of the foundations of this framework are the international agreements and local laws and issuances on DRRM, which guide governments and private sectors like Heifer on what knowledge-based, process, and points of action should be undertaken in ensuring that communities are able to increase their capacities, manage risks, prepare for and mitigate effects of disasters, and recover from the loss and damages. In the Philippines, a national law called Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010 provides a responsive and proactive manner of addressing disasters through participation of the community and civil societies, prioritization of vulnerable sectors, and increasing capacities of local communities. The framework is realized through a process of increasing capacities of communities and families, initiatives to facilitate participatory approaches in risk and vulnerability assessment, integration of family contingency plans into existing disaster risk reduction and management plans of the community, partnership and networking, and continuous monitoring of outputs and evaluation of the process.
Nga naay ongoing project karon in partnership sa Heifer, gitawag ni Rise Up Project, resulta ni sa bagyo nga Pablo nga ni igo sa Agusan del Sur. Mao nga usa sa component sa project mo ang disaster risk reduction management nga at gipartneran sa Heifer ug sa HID.
Pagsugod sa partnership sa HIPER o ang barangay nagsugod ni adtong pagseminar dito sa Davao. Din hisgutan ang sitwasyon sa barangay, labi na sa hisgutanan ng mga disaster.
Ang Barangay Lamba, kadakol-dakol ng mga nagdadarayo, mga bisita na ang tuyo talaga mag-co-learning sa samong DRR.
Okay, naman po, nagkaigwa kita ki tsunami drill and earthquake drill. So, kan nagkaigwa ki tsunami alert, ang mga tao, pigiling ko katong mga tao digdi sa barangay Kanlamba, garo relax lang sinda. Dahil aram ninda kung ano ang sa indang gigibuhon. Hasta ito nga na luminaw kita duman sa entry kan Regional Gawad Kalasa Gaward kung sa first time sa Legazpi City na nanggana bilang Regional Gawad Kalasa Gaward ang Lamba, Legazpi City.
Partnership sa HIPER International din usa sa mga kalihukan nini ang disaster preparedness, no? So dako kayo gikataba ang disaster preparedness kay before sa Yolanda igo sa amoa gitraining anay ang mga opisyalis, ang mga leader, mga department heads o nahimo namo ang mga contingency plan, mga mapa, assessment sa mga lugar din posible nga maigo sa disaster. So dako kay gitabang ni kayo tungod kay pagkaigo sa bagyo, zero casualty ang kalubian tungod nini.
Bago po dumating yung Yolanda, ang HIPER po, ang mga personnel at leadership po ng HIPER ay nagbigay ng seminar sa ating mga community personnel para pagpreparahan kung mayroon mang sakaling mga disaster na darating. Kami po ay nagmamalaki dito sa Kalubian na kahit ganon kalakas ang Yolanda, kami po ay walang casualty.
Heifer Philippines DRRM framework contributes to the achievement of Heifer's goal to assist families in developing and sustaining their livelihood and income growth by increasing their capacities to prepare for disasters, mitigate damage and losses, and strengthening their abilities to bounce back after a disaster event and situation.
The proven Heifer Philippines approach collaborates with local project partners and government institutions to deliver a unique DRR program right at the heart where our project partners live. We found out that creating livestock-based programs increases their assets, builds up their resiliency, and puts in measures like securities and emergency funds during disasters. This will help them manage the disaster better, enabling them to bounce back right after every typhoon or any disaster that may hit them.